Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I think are the top 5 condos in the neighborhood of King West. This is part of a new series that I've started where I go over different neighborhoods and what I think are the best buildings in these areas. If you are interested, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, or go check out the playlist on my channel where I talk about the different neighborhoods and the condos that I think are great picks. Now, just a disclaimer, whatever opinions that I am about to share in this video are solely mine and subjective to my experience as a real estate agent in this city. If you're new here, welcome back to Property Ladder. I'm Khushnaz and I'm a realtor in the city of Toronto. Today we'll be discussing King West. Now, King West, if you're new and if you're not familiar with the city, is the neighborhood between Spadina Avenue to the east, west of Bathurst, all the way up to Strachan or Shaw Street. I would say is also an extension of King West, also known as King West Village. So I will be including that in this video. So without wasting any further time, let's get into it. Okay, so first on the list is 75 Portland Street, also known as 75 Portland. Now, this is a really popular building that's always in demand, and it's located dab smack in the middle of King West, right at King and Portland Street. It's a mid-rise condo with soft loft units and was built in 2010 by Freed Development. It was designed by the French designer Philippe Starck, whose work can be seen all over the world and who's also been responsible for trending the term modern design. Now, units in this building range from 450 square feet all the way to 2200 square feet, and they offer studios, 1 bedrooms, 1+ dens, spacious 2 bedrooms, and they also have 2-story loft units, which is pretty great to see. Now, most of these units, they feature exposed concrete, they have really sleek cabinetry, appliances, open concept layouts, floor to ceiling windows, gas stoves, and barbecue lines on the balcony. In terms of amenities, the building offers a gym, a concierge, a visitors parking, an outdoor patio, and a party room. If you have been to the lobby, you'll probably remember this because it's really hard to miss. They have this massive 100-foot marble table that's half in the lobby and half in the courtyard. So units in this building are currently trading at an average of $960 a foot, and condo fees are at 71 cents a foot, covering heat, water, and AC. The condo fees in this building are cheaper than the neighborhood average of about 82 cents a foot. It's also a 15-year-old building, and for that, I would say the fees are extremely fair and reasonable. Now, there's a reason why 75 Portland is one of the most popular buildings in King West, of course, location being one of them. You're on King West in the epicenter of all of the new bars, restaurants at your doorstep. And you're halfway between Bathurst and Spadina, and you're also close to now the Well, which is right next door, and the harborfront if you want to go to the lake. You basically have everything around you and you don't really need to leave the neighborhood. When it comes to transit, you have the King streetcar at your doorstep. Right there, you have the Spadina and Bathurst streetcars going north and south. For groceries, you have the Loblaws up on Queen. You have a Farm Boy on Bathurst in front. You have Stanley Park, just a couple minutes walk, or like 2-3 streetcar stop. It's just a super convenient location, great walkability, great spots to entertain, go out, just be at home. All of these factors for me are just amazing, especially if you're first moving downtown and really want to experience downtown living. Now, this building for me is the quintessential soft loft. It's modern, it's sleek, it's bright, it's airy. I love the open concept floor plans, the exposed concrete, floor to ceiling windows, amazing finishes, appliances, the kitchen islands. Of course, gas stoves for me are amazing and always earn me some brownie points. The barbecue lines on the balcony as well. These two features you don't always find in Toronto condos, so it's really nice to have that sort of option when you're looking at places here. In addition to the regular sized units, they also have 2-story lofts, which I think are amazing with their 18-foot ceilings and towering windows, bringing you so much natural light. Now, keep in mind, if you are facing north, you are looking into the back alley of all of the restaurants and bars that are on King Street. So you won't have the best view. You'll mostly see all of the garbage and grease that's coming out of these restaurants. But other than that, if you have any of the other views, it's a pretty sick spot to be in. So all of these factors combined make 75 Portland one of my top 5 picks. Okay, next up is 55 Stewart Street and 552 Wellington Street, together known as the Thompson Residences. This complex is part of and connected to the One Hotel, which was formerly known as the Thompson Hotel, hence the name Thompson Residences. This project was built in 2010 by Free Development and stands tall at 15 stories with about 325 units in the buildings. Now, units in this building can range all the way from 450 square feet to 7,500 square feet. You heard me right, 7,500 square feet. So you have studios, one bedrooms, the usual mixed bag, along with a beautiful penthouse at 7,500 square feet on the top floor. The interiors here are characterized by concrete ceilings, kitchen islands, just modern, sleek design. Now, the extent of the sizes aren't just limited to the interior of the building. Some of the units also have a massive terraced balconies that go all the way to 1,000 square feet. Now, when it comes to the amenities, these guys have pulled out all of the stops. They have a gym, they have a rooftop with barbecues, they have an infinity pool on the rooftop, they have a party room, meeting room, you name it, and they have it. And aside from the regular amenities that you usually see in these buildings, they also have a full service bar on the rooftop. They have trainers available for you in the gym, and they have pet care facilities for when you go out of town. I haven't heard of any condo building having pet care facilities or trainers available for you in the gym. And since it's connected to the hotel for an additional fee, you can use things like housekeeping, dry cleaning, valet services even, or grocery delivery that's offered by the hotel. And if you're a resident of the building, you also receive discounted rates for room bookings in the hotel. So if you have people coming in from out of town, you can have them stay in your building at a reduced cost. Condos in this building are currently trading at about $1,050 a foot, and condo fees are at 93 cents a foot, covering heat, water, and AC. The condo fees are higher than the neighborhood average of 82 cents, but they do seem in line with the extent of the facility services and amenities that are offered to residents in this building. Now, this building is a top contender for me for a couple different reasons. Well, firstly, when it comes to the location, I think it's perfectly situated and tucked away on a relatively quieter street. So you have the benefits of living in the neighborhood of King West without having to subject yourself to the traffic, noise, and just the occasional drunkenness that you may experience on the weekend by all of the passers-by and people leaving the clubs and bars late at night. You also have the Bathurst streetcar right there. You have the King Street streetcar. In terms of groceries, there's a Farm Boy at Bathurst in front, or if you walk further south, you have Loblaws, Shoppers, LCBO. Everything is right around you and making it super convenient. In terms of green spaces, there's also Victoria Memorial Park right behind the building on Wellington Street. Or if you're craving something slightly bigger and just more things to do, you also have Stanley Park just west of Bathurst. Now, in addition to just the conveniences offered by this neighborhood, the perks of being a part of the One Hotel, I would say the third factor that's really important to me and something that makes this building stand out is the variety and diversity of the floor plans that are offered. You have a studio if you're looking for something smaller. You have an average sized one bedroom, but you also have a super large one bedroom. And by large, I don't mean 700 or 800 square feet even. I mean a 900 square foot one bedroom. That's something you don't see anymore. I mean, probably a building that was built 20, 25 years ago, but for something that was built in the last 15 years, this kind of layout is really unique to this particular building. And they also have two-story lofts in addition to all of the ones that I just mentioned. If you're looking for 4 bedrooms, they have 3,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms. Again, 4 bedrooms is something you see only in the penthouse. You don't really see it with just the standard floors. However, this building does have that. So yes, so all of these things put together make Thompson Residences one of my favorite spots in King West. If you want to live your best bougie life in downtown, I would recommend this building to you. Okay, now we're gonna hop on over to King West Village, which is just an extension of King West. It's west of Bathurst Street, all along King Street, up to Strawn Avenue. So this condo that I'm going to talk about is at 833 King Street West, also known as West 833 or the Perfume Factory Lofts. Now, as the name suggests, this used to be a perfume factory in the 1930s, which was then converted to a mid-rise condo by Triloft Development. So they basically added a new contemporary addition, turning it from a 3-story to a 7-story. So it's about 52 units total in the building with a mix of hard lofts and soft lofts. The hard lofts are on the first 3 levels and then the soft lofts are right above that. It's located on the corner of King and Niagara Street, right beside Stanley Park. Units in this building range from 550 square feet to 2,000 square feet. They have 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 2+ dens, and then a couple penthouse units on the top floors, some of them being 2-story units as well. So true to its name, these lofts are actually open concept. They're massive, they're wide, they're super spacious. They have wall-to-wall windows, lots of natural light, exposed concrete. Since it's a small building, the amenities aren't super over the top, but they do have a gym, they have visitors parking, they have a party room, they have a rec room, they have bike storage, but my favorite is the rooftop with barbecues that's overlooking Stanley Park. Now, units in this building have really low turnover, so once people move in, whether they're buying or renting, they don't really seem to move out, which is why we don't have an accurate figure on the price per foot. But what I do know is that the condo fees are at about 96 cents a foot and they cover all utilities. Now, this may come as a surprise to you, but a lot of the older buildings, especially the ones built in the 90s or even the early 2000s, developers included all utilities in the monthly condo fees. 2010s to about 2015, most developers included heat and water, and then all of the new buildings lately don't seem to include any utilities in their condo fees, and the fees are pretty much comparable to what you would pay for an older building. Now, I've been to this building a couple of times. I have clients who live here, and it's super well maintained, really well run. So the fact that the condo fees are at 96 cents, I think is pretty great and actually pretty impressive for a building that's about 27 years old. What I love about this building is just the juxtaposition of the old with the new, the old facade with the new addition, the interior, the lobby. There's just a lot of character and charm that's in these units. Not just the unit, actually, even the hallways or the lobby area. It really is a vibe and it's very unique, especially being in King West, which is mostly, I would say, high-rise condos or just newer development. This one really stands out. Now, of course, the location's amazing too. There's just a lot of green spaces around it. So you, like I mentioned, you have Stanley Park beside the building, and then 2 minutes north, you hit Queen West and you have Trinity Bellwoods right there. And then if you go south on Niagara Street, you also reach Garrison Common. So lots of parks everywhere around you. You have the King streetcar at your doorstep. And then if you want to hit Bathurst, you have the streetcar there. Liberty Village is pretty close by as well on the west side. For groceries, you have No Frills at King and Shaw. You have the Metro in Liberty Village. You have the Farm Boy at Bathurst and Fleet. And yeah, just a lot of things near you. It's relatively peaceful and quiet being so close to King West, which is nice because you can hop on over, enjoy all of the entertainment that that strip has to offer between Bathurst and Spadina, and then come back home to something that's a little more quiet and just peaceful. It truly does give you the best of both. Now, I know we touched on this, but condo fees being all-inclusive is definitely a big strong point for me for this building, coupled with just the amazing views that you get. If you're west facing, you're overlooking Stanley Park and it's unobstructed. You don't have to worry about new construction and you just get beautiful sunsets all year round. As I mentioned, some of these are two-story units, so they have like super tall 17 feet high ceilings with just massive windows. Again, lots of natural light. Who doesn't love that? And some of them also come with balconies. Now, usually loft buildings don't come with balconies just because they used to be factories and we didn't really have balconies on commercial spaces. These penthouse units have balconies attached to them, and they also have a barbecue line on the balcony, which again, not too common in Toronto. A lot of buildings don't allow barbecues on balconies for safety reasons. And if you're on a higher floor, you also get a really nice view of Trinity Bellwood. So all of these things combined make this one of my favorite picks in the King West neighborhood. Okay, next we're just gonna hop on over to the other side of Stanley Park. This building is at 15 Stafford Street, also known as Wellington on the Park. This building was completed in 2007 by Plaza Corp developers, and it's a mid-rise condo with 9 stories and about 140 units in the building. Units here range from 550 to 1800 square feet with a mix of 1 bedrooms all the way to 3 bed plus dens in their penthouses. If you look at the building from the outside, you'll notice that the top 3 floors are staggered, and that's because they all come with terraced balconies. As a bonus, the penthouse units, which are 2-story units, have terraced balconies which are also wraparound. Amenities in the building are all of the basics. They have a gym, they have a party room, rec room, visitors parking, and bike storage. On average, condos here trade at about $1,050 a foot, and condo fees are at 62 cents a foot, covering heat and water. Now, fees here are super low, especially when you compare it to the neighborhood average in King West, which is about 82 to 86 cents a foot. Typically, older buildings tend to have higher fees just because they require more maintenance and upkeep. However, this building, for the fact that it was built in 2007, it's really impressive that they've been able to keep the fees at 62 cents a foot. Now, a couple reasons why this condo made the list for me. I personally love the layouts in this building. They're functional, they're usable, and you can actually live in these units because it was built before the investor boom. It's exactly the opposite of the shoebox condos that you usually find. Every unit here comes with a well-sized balcony. They have kitchen islands, full-sized appliances. I love the fact that that there's a designated space for different rooms in the unit where the kitchen doesn't take up an entire wall and you don't find a sofa in the kitchen facing what's called as the living room. So there's a separate living room. You have a kitchen island assigning a kitchen space with lots of counter space, full-sized appliances. Two-bedroom condos here have split bedroom layouts, which is basically when you have a bedroom on either side of the condo as opposed to having them right next to each other. All bedrooms here are generously sized. You don't feel like you're compromising on any space. Just lots of storage. Overall, well-designed floor plans. Now, of course, being next to Stanley Park is a definite positive, but other than the fact that you have a baseball diamond next door, a tennis court, if you have a dog, you have an off-leash dog park, you also get amazing views when you're facing east. So you not only have to worry about no construction coming up next to you, but you have views of the CN Tower and the Toronto skyline. In terms of convenience, you have No Frills on King and Shaw, you have Farm Boy on Bathurst, and you also have a metro at Liberty Village, which is not too far away. All of this combined with the low condo fees makes this building a winner for me. Okay, so now if we just keep going further on King Street, we're going to reach the last condo on this list, which is at 1 Shaw Street, also known as the DNA condos. This building was completed in 2006 by Stonebridge and received such good reviews that they decided to build 2 more buildings right next door and across the street, also known as the DNA 2 and DNA 3 condos. This condo stands at 16 stories and has just over 300 units in the building. In terms of the amenities the building offers, they have a gym, a 24-hour concierge, visitors parking, party room, and my favorite, which is the rooftop deck and garden with barbecues and of course panoramic views of the lake, city, and the skyline. Condos here trade just over $1,000 a foot, and condo fees are at 70 cents, including heat and water. Now, condo fees here are super low at 70 cents a foot, especially when you compare it to the King West neighborhood average, which is about 86 cents a foot. Add to that, the building being almost 20 years old, it's always a great sign that they've been able to keep it at 70 cents a foot. I've been to this building countless times, and I've always had a great experience. I also would never be able to tell that it's almost 20 years old, which just goes to show that it's just been really well maintained and taken care of. I love the gas stoves in the units and the gas line on the balcony for barbecues. Again, you've heard me say it, but not too common of a feature and always nice to have. Add to that, they have transit at your doorstep with not just the King Streetcar, but also the bus going north to Ossington and south to Liberty Village. You also have the pedestrian bridge just not too far away from the building on the west side, connecting you to Liberty Village, giving you access to the metro, LCBO, Shoppers, and all of the stores around there. This building's just located in a super cute pocket that's not too noisy, not too high traffic. I mean, you have no shortage of green spaces. You have Massey Harris Park next door. You have Stanley Park just a couple minutes east. And if you walk up on Shaw, you reach Queen and you have Trinity Bellwoods right there. Add to that, No Frills across the street, Starbucks at your doorstep, and connectivity to all different neighborhoods around you. I think it's a really solid building and my final pick for the condos that I would suggest in King West and King West Village. All right, so that's it for my top 5 condos in the King West and King West neighborhood. If you enjoyed this video or just found some value in it, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you can follow along this series as I explore different neighborhoods and what my favorite condos are in these areas. Feel free to also check out the different playlists that I have on my channel, whether you're a buyer, seller, or just wanting to learn about Toronto real estate. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.